As part of our lecture this week and as an introduction, I've provided you on this slide with the legal definition of our requirements for least restrictive environment as listed by IDEA in our federal laws and regulations. Some key phrases for this are that students with disabilities should be educated with their peers to the maximum extent appropriate being a general term, and also that removal from that classroom and education with their peers should only occur when education with supplementary aids and services is not possible due to the nature and severity of the disability. That's a lot to think and consider, a lot for families, districts, schools, staff, and faculty to parse out and work with. It's pretty subjective because remember, the I in IEP is individual, and we make decisions on a case-by-case and individual basis for all students with disabilities. But it does very clearly state that the grade level classroom is where we start with placements and with considerations for all students with disability. That doesn't necessarily mean that we jump straight to full inclusion and start there, but what it does mean is that we must have meaningful, collaborative discussions with data when we make those placement decisions and when we continue those placement decisions. This is a really big deal in Michigan right now and part of a very current event because the Michigan Department of Education has started a compliance audit and gathering of information for all schools and districts and programs in the state of Michigan. It started in fall of 2024. The process is that the MDE will come through and monitor every district or ISD over the next 6 years to determine if districts are compliant with FAPE and LRE, FAPE through LRE, provide a report back to the school and the district in the ISD that includes reports of affirmative practice, things that are going well in those schools and district, non-compliance, corrective actions, and system improvements that need to happen. This is why I've asked you to take a look at the MDE website for LRE audits this year. It's one of the resources I've asked you to skim. If you take a look at the staff or faculty interview form, that's the second link I asked you to click on, you'll realize that the MDE staff are going to be coming through or contacting local teachers, paraprofessionals, general education, special education administrators, everyone who works with and for and around the schools, and asking them about their understandings of least restrictive environment, the IEP process and how that contributes to or does not contribute to LRE, professional development that's offered for all staff, general and special education, opportunities for students, policies, either written or understood in districts and schools, and then how students with disabilities are placed in schools that are either with their peers or different from their peers. This is happening now in our schools and our ISDs. Cohort 1 started in August. Dig into that resource. Ask in your schools about this process if you have not already heard about it, and really start to consider how this subjective but very basic definition listed on this slide of least restrictive environment is applicable to you in your future role as a special education teacher, your current role as a special education teacher, and most importantly, for the students with disabilities that we all serve.